Well, the weather has changed. It has been raining a lot last night. The air is damp. It's just very humid. Everything is wet. And I'm really happy I did that fourth layer yesterday, so I don't have to climb over all this wet stuff today. So I can either work here, make this third layer, or make the first one of this piece, or when it really starts to rain again, I can go inside and saw more insulation, because my mountain of insulation has decreased quite a bit already. And I also am not used to wind anymore. It went well, everything is still on the roof, it's just a complete mess. So I have to reorganize that and make sure that every little piece of insulation has a stone on top of it so it doesn't blow away. And I really have to keep watch on the news, because if there's a storm coming, I'm just lost at the moment. So I just need to work hard to get everything that I have here put down on top of these. And then I have to make new and try to find out how I'm going to make that stay on top of the roof while it is still reachable to work on here. Mainly, I just have to work very fast before the real storms are coming. That's just the point. I just don't have time anymore. I just need to focus on this every single minute that I have. So let's get started. It's one of those days where the sun is shining bright, but just when you want to go outside and start working, it starts to rain again. So I've decided to just come in here and work with the sawing table. I'm going to attack another pallet of insulation. And I've already figured out that that is not easy, because all these sacks are 12 centimeters, which is too big, because I'm working with 9 at the moment. I could use that for the walls, but I'm not working on the walls. I need insulation for the roof, so it has to be 9 centimeters. This is the only stack that is 9 centimeters, but it is full of triangle sort of shaped pieces, which is lovely if you want to work with a floor. But it's dramatic when you have to work in between standers and CLS, and this doesn't work for me. The only one that I can sort of reach is this one, and this one as well, but that's only a half one, 3/4. So I'm going to start with this one, get all the insulation out, put it on here or something, and then I can start sawing again. I tried today to work as long as possible because once you start with this, you get dusty and it only gets worse. And I rather do that all in once than do that every day a bit. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. But I did not finish the pallet. I came across a lot of pieces that are cut like this, which I can't use like this. So I tried to puzzle them into forms that I can use, but that took up a lot of time. I got more and more of those from halfway down the pallet, and in first instance I put them all aside, like I'm not going to use them, but then I was like, it's a quarter of the pallet. That is a lot of insulation. There are big chunks in there, there are beautiful plates in there. You know what, I'm just going to try to puzzle them. So yeah, I've done a few of them. I still got a lot of them to do, and I still need to do the little pieces. And I've got 2 layers of funny shapes to figure out too. I also have a few very big ones that I need to saw into the exact width that is in between 2 CLS. But I don't have my measure tape around here, and I think I don't know the exact measurement of that out of my head. So I need to figure that out first. So actually, I'm slightly disappointed that I didn't make it to finish the whole pallet, but this is the result. I should be really happy with this. So yeah, I should be really glad. I actually am. It's just a bummer that the pallet isn't done, because I've been thinking, I put up 3 pallets of insulation on the first part of the container where I started, and I used the last few pieces of that to start from the other side, so that's neglectable. So I've put up 1 pallet now. This is the second, which is almost done. So I at the very least need 1 other pallet of insulation, and probably 2, because where I started first, I did not get to the middle of the container yet. So in worst case scenario, I need another 2 or 3 pallets of insulation, which is more than 2 or 3 days of sawing. But on the bright side, if it is going to be 4 days of sawing, I have done 1 now. So about 3 or 4 days more of sawing on rainy days, mind you. I'm not going to do that when the sun is shining, so I'm just waiting for the next rainy day for that. First I'm going to use this, and I just hope I can get all this up. I first need to get this to the container, then up onto the container, which is work by itself as well. You're never done. It's not like you just pick it up and put it there and then you can start puzzling. No, it's more work and more work and more work, always more work. This might look a bit silly to you, but it is common practice around here to have a feast around reaching the highest constructional point of a new building, which I have reached today. This is the highest point. Well, of course, there is coming up some plates and some roof ladder and whatnot, but constructional wise, this is sort of the highest point, upon which you apparently strap up a branch around it and have a beer party. But I don't drink beer, so upon reaching this huge milestone, I'll have some lemonade. Cheers! It's starting to get slightly chaotic around here. But I promise it will be okay. So this is the second layer, and this is the third layer, and this is the second layer as well. I have to cut this straight, but then it is in a slope, and then I can turn the other side around and it fits perfectly. Halfway through this week, I started to pick up hope that maybe I could finish all 4 layers on this side of the portrait roof. Well, as you can see, that didn't happen. But I am very proud of what I did achieve this week. I have set a huge milestone. If I get on with this, I can start to figure out how much more weeks it's going to cost to get the whole roof done. Yes, weeks. It's still a lot of work. That is if the weather doesn't change. It is sort of still good weather the next week and the week after, but the wind is picking up. And since this insulation is so light, I am just constantly trying to keep everything secure and not being blown off. Even when I finished this last pieces, some pieces were blown off. And then I have to retrieve them and get them out of the trees and come back here and put them in their place and hold them there. So that is just costing more time, more effort to get everything done. And I still have to saw a lot more insulation and also bring that up here. So it's difficult to gauge how much more time I need. And also I do not exactly know how much time everything else on the roof is going to cost me. It's still a huge project, but I am very, very close to getting it almost done. I just have the feeling that it is getting to that point where I say the roof is done. And that is something that is so huge in my head. That is such a big achievement. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I foresee a lot of insulation in my near future. But I am happy. I am so happy that I did this. I'm happy that this is all done. I'm just super proud what I've done up till now, and I foresee that I can lay the 4th layer on here next week and probably move on with the next segments, put in beams, put in standers, and a lot of insulation. So if you want to come along on my journey, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week. Make it a good one.